AITA for asking my upstairs neighbor not to wake us up with loud sex in the middle of the night.
Hit it.
Relatable.
I've been woken up several times a week, sometimes keeping me up for hours. Bed creaks, bangs against the floor, plus they moan loudly. Oh, yeah. I wrote a note asking them to try to keep it down when doing it in the middle of the night. I'm a student at work early. She said she would tighten the bed screws, but that because we live in an old building, we're going to hear our neighbors from time to time. Okay.
Yeah.
I've lived in old apartments before, I know. However, I also feel that means trying to respect the complex's quiet times. 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. on weekdays.
That's too early.
Yeah.
That's a little early. I don't mind noise outside of these times, but being woken up on a regular basis is a lack of respect and a violation of the rules. I've since been woken up many times, even multiples a night. I wrote again saying it's still a problem and I really don't like to be that neighbor that complains, but I got to sleep. I also tried to speak to her, but she was dismissive and said it wasn't her.
Wow.
It's not
I'm
me.
going to tighten my screws, but not me.
It wasn't me. I went into the hallway. That grandma is getting pounded. Okay. It's her. I went into the hallway. The next time I was woken up to see if I was mistaken, it was obviously coming up from directly above. I could hear them as soon as I opened my door and barely needed to walk up the stairs to be sure. I'm impressed no one else has complained. I wrote a note again saying I was sure it's her, and if they didn't stop, I'd contact the board that runs the building so we could find a solution. She felt surveillance and that her sex life has nothing to do with me and is none of my business. I agree, but she's the one making my business by being so loud. I understand, but felt the need to check if I was in the wrong. We both contacted the board, who responded in a shared email that it's difficult because it has to do with things like sleep and sex. They didn't tell them to keep it down.
Damn.
Well, I agree both are important. Sleep is a necessity. Your studying and work won't be ruined by not having loud sex. I'm not stopping them. I just want them to consider me and others. Since the email, it seemed like they were trying to be quiet. I've not been woken up as much until last night, 2 a.m. Went back to sleep. They started again at 3 a.m. After this, it sounded like they were dragging furniture across the floor. It is clear they're not even trying to be quiet. I feel like they don't care. I'm tired of having the same conversations. I don't feel like they would have the same response. But if I was having loud conversations and stomping on the floor at night to the point of waking up neighbors multiple times, I don't feel like they would have the same response and they would tell me to be quiet. AITA.
Hard to police sexual activity to a degree. But yeah, having a loud conversation is different than being like, can you be quieter in bed? I don't know. Right? Am I wrong?
Kind of. I feel like it sounds good, right? There was another situation someone put in that people during Ramadan, people fast during Ramadan, Muslims fast during Ramadan from sunrise to sundown.
Yeah.
And so they were using blenders because I guess it's easier to, probably put down a lot of protein if it's blent at 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has the same trait where it's like, well, I need to eat, don't I? And I'm kind of like, yeah, you need to eat, but do you got to be loud about it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to have sex, but do you need to be loud about it?
Yeah. I mean, I do think it's also the situation of like, if you want to have loud sex, then you got to live somewhere where you can do that without disturbing people. But also, fuck my neighbors. I'm trying to get laid.
I agree, but I think the sad part is once all the regular structures of power going through the landlord, once that's failed, all you're left with is vigilantism, and this is really where I shine. If someone's fucking loudly, you can jerk off loudly to them.
That's true.
And they will very quickly stop. Rarely is someone like, oh, good, someone's listening. Like, they hate that. You can record them. If they're being loud enough, you can record the audio and start selling it.
Play it back.
Yeah, you can tell them, you can start texting them, hey, you guys aren't loud enough. I'm recording this when you're fucking, and my listeners really like a good audio,
Turn it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like start a noise war, get a noise war back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where this does go, especially if that's how the complex is going to be. I'm like, okay, you guys are fucking, and maybe I'll play porn.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Grosser, louder.
Or just time it too. If they're doing it at 3 a.m., oh, well, I wonder how 6 a.m. is going to feel.
Right.
Yeah. You got to give them a taste of their own medicine.
I honestly feel like this is one of those.
I agree with that. I mean, I think people could be chill about it if you've said it and you're like, dude, like, come on. Because I've been that neighbor who can hear other people. And I've been like, all right, I'm playing white noise tonight. Like, I put louder noise to cover that noise. Because I also don't want to be the person who's like, but if it was happening every night, all night, I'd be like, ugh.
It's tough.
Is this Radu trying to make me have psychosis?
Yeah, classic Radu.
All right, put
So-
sex noises around our apartment.
About 2 weeks ago, I hear just screaming. I'm like, where is that even coming from? So I'm like, whatever. Go back to work. 10 minutes later, screaming again. I'm like, okay, someone's actually screaming. So I go to the far window at the back of the building, and it's someone saying, "Stop playing the fucking guitar! Stop playing!" And then I can hear this guy just fucking shredding, killing
Good?
it.
Yeah, okay.
It was like 10:50 p.m. I was like, that is a violation. And then I was like, I really don't love this guy's odds on screaming being the antidote to playing guitar, because I feel like he just doesn't hear. But and so I put on flip-flops. I was like, I'm gonna go find this guitar player and tell him to stop. But then he just stopped.
Oh, wow.
What do you do when there's like a car alarm that won't stop?
Oh
you know,
my
It's
God,
like
that's
you
the
can't
worst.
yell at
I'm
anybody.
so lucky with that. Yeah, they'll go. I think I've had one go for 10 minutes, but no.
I feel like
They die after some time.
do they die? Yeah. They,
After
they run
5 or
out,
10
yeah.
minutes, you should be allowed to throw a rock through their windshield.
I think so.
That's the worst. That happens at ground floor sometimes. Or
Really?
co-working
Oh, I
space.
never noticed
Yeah.
that.
Dude,
Yeah.
it wakes me and my wife up like probably once a week at this point.
Ugh.
Just some random, and it's like it's not anyone stealing our stuff. It's like a homeless person like accidentally bumping a car or something.
Yeah, or sometimes if a loud motorcycle goes by, it like triggers
Oh, I
some.
literally, it's that
that.
palm fronds
that.
falling on the.
Yeah.
Big palm fronds falling.
Home from.
I was gonna make a joke saying like that's because of where you live, Radu, because he lives in a really nice area. Well, yeah, do
No,
you like that West Hollywood?
It's not that. It's right
with
where
that?
West Hollywood ends and becomes Hollywood. You know.
Oh, I didn't know about
On
ugh,
the
Hollywood.
border.
It's literally, I'm like on the DMZ, right? You know, as like the two cultures clash or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That seemed nice to me because I'd never been there. I guess.
It's the last nice block, I
last
think.
nice block.
Yeah. Or the first shitty one, depending on how you look at it.
Top comment says that guy from this place, but dude, you can't win this fight. No board is going to throw them because their sex is loud and they will never be silent enough during sex that you'll be satisfied. Clearly, your building has no soundproofing, and quite frankly, your request to limit sex to 7 a.m. to 8 is funny. I suggest you invest in some good, well-fitting earplugs.
Yeah.
I'm not with that though. Have you guys? Are you an earplug fan?
No, no. I meant about limiting the sex time.
Yeah, I agree. I think quiet hours are 10 p.m. to
Yeah.
7 a.m., maybe 9. I mean, if there's kids, you got to be a little bit.
Anything
reasonable.
under 10 is so it's like disrespectful to people. You know what I mean? Where you're like, yeah, I don't like you being loud after 7. You're like, oh my God.
I got home an hour
7?
ago.
You know what I mean? Like 10 is that's the only acceptable
You
cutoff.
feel like 10 is a reasonable cutoff?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, early.
Even weekdays.
Yeah.
10 on weekdays. I feel like Fridays and Saturdays, 1.
That feels too late for me, I think.
On a
1.
Friday night?
I mean, not for me, but I feel like if I'm someone who's not going out and stuff, if I'm a family or I have a baby, like 1
Yeah,
is
so 11.
late.
Yeah, I'm giving
Yeah, I
you
would say
11.
11. That
honestly.
seems reasonable. Top descending comment right. This response is dismissive, ignores the fact that excessive noise, including loud sex, can be a valid disturbance, especially during quiet hours. It's not about demanding complete silence, but about respecting shared living spaces. Most apartment buildings have noise policies, and consistently disruptive noise, whether from music, shouting, or sex, can be addressed. That'd be weird if they limited it only from music, shouting, or sex. If it's from stubbing,
Yeah.
you're good.
What's
Just don't
stubbing?
like stubbing your toe.
Oh, I see.
Just in there having a breakdown.
Yeah, breakdowns are cool.
Yeah.
If you're being the victim of a Radu psyop where you think you're being targeted at
That's fine.
billboards.
You're allowed to lose your mind in your own apartment.
Yeah, I agree that earplugs. Now, I will say this: for me, earplugs, I can't sleep with those things.
They're also really not that effective, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
really okay. I feel like they're effective, but I stay awake or I wake up because the earbud will eventually bother my ear.
Yeah.
So I think white noise is a great medium. There's some people who are like, I can't sleep with white noise. Yes, you can.
I sleep better without it, but I'm a light sleeper, so
Really?
yeah.
Well, see, I feel like white noise makes there be enough noise because if it's a completely silent room, then like a rat,
yeah.
taking a walk
I know.
will wake you up.
Yeah, I slept without I usually have my white noise on. Last night I slept without it.
Yeah.
And I always have a deeper sleep when there's no white noise.
Really?
And I dream. But when I have white noise, I don't have dreams usually. It's kind of like I just go into like this place.
Okay. Carla is haunted. ATA for asking my upstairs neighbors not to wake us up with loud sex in the middle of the night. I think, look, this is multiple. I think, look, once, twice, once a quarter, fine. It's like she finally got laid. Let her have it. you know, but when it's regular and it's 3 a.m.,
No,
it's
you're
like
not the
people
asshole.
work, bro. Like they're being assholes.
Yeah.
Not the asshole in this one.
I agree.
I
Not
feel
the
like
asshole, and they are.
they are.
The fuckers are.